Hey, Mike Motorcycle here, and I've noticed that YouTube has removed the blue floating link to send feedback that they used to have in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Now, I went looking for it. It is still available. You have to scroll all the way down to the very bottom of the YouTube page that you're on, and you'll see right here it says send feedback. And now, if you notice when you hover over it, it actually shows that it's going to send you to an error page. Now, that's deceptive. If you just go ahead and left click on it, you will find that it pops up the Google feedback box as you would expect it to. Now, I'm in the habit generally of doing a right click and opening a new window, which would bring you to this page here. But I'm not sure if this is part of the reason, but I can't help but think that maybe this has something to do with the one channel layout and a lot of the other changes that they've been making to the site lately. That something tells me that YouTubers such as myself, who have actually made a video already suggesting to send feedback, that's been working, and that other users have in fact been sending feedback, and I think they've actually been bombarded so much that they may have actually removed it. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing. The feature is not gone. Continue using it, because I don't know about you, but personally, as you can see from the channel page, my own channel page that I'm on right now, I still have the old layout. That's on purpose. I'm going to go kicking and screaming before I go into the one channel layout voluntarily. They're going to have to force it on me, and unfortunately that's what they've been doing. So continue sending your protests if you don't like it, and continue to use the feedback feature for anything for which you want them to be aware of. Now, that said, next to the feedback link, you'll see this link right here that says try something new. So if we go ahead and we click on that, it'll take us to a page to where they basically call it test tube, and they are using it to feature various experiments that they're working on, which this is a place where we can voluntarily opt in to their various experiments, and I think this is a much better way of them implementing any kind of change whatsoever. Now, it may simply be that I've never noticed this before and it's been here for a long time, but I haven't had reason to pay attention to it until more recently when they've been making all of these changes. Now, of the actual features that you see on the screen right now, I personally think that there's 3 of them that sound like they have potential. Now, at the moment, I've chosen not to opt in, but I may decide to do that later. But as far as their available options, they are testing HTML5 video. Now, that is basically a alternative to using Flash. It does have the potential to be a performance enhancement, and the majority of browsers do now support it. If you follow the link, they will tell you which browsers. I'm not going to follow the link, but I think this one is good. They've got another that they call Feather, and they're basically saying, they're describing it as a super low latency page. In other words, all that really means is that they load a bare minimum of unnecessary crap, which is, well, really the ideal for any web page, because that is what slows things down. The more crap you put on, the slower it's going to take to load. So I think that one has also got a lot of potential. It's something that, well, frankly, they should be doing anyway, but unfortunately, with everybody having high bandwidth now, or at least that's the presumption, nobody ever thinks to actually code anything on the internet uh, trying to conserve the amount of data that has to be downloaded just to display a web page, which is an erroneous assumption. The third thing is a video questions editor. Now, this one they seem to have the least thought of. Um, in their description, they talk about it being temporary. Even though it's an experiment, they don't seem to have much of an investment in it based on their description. But essentially what it is it gives YouTube uh, channel content creators the ability to insert questions into their videos to have a direct interaction with their audience. So, for instance, I've noticed that in my um, analytics for quite a while now, for about a month and a half, 2 months, all of a sudden, um, I haven't had uh, any statistics on whether my viewers have been male or female. I don't know why suddenly that information is not being gathered, because it certainly was toward the beginning. Um, for which I do have a rather young channel, admittedly, but when I first started using it, um, it had statistics on the percentage of men and the percentage of women that view my pages, view my content, view my videos. And so, for instance, I would have the option of putting questions into my videos to just simply ask, check a box. Are you male or female? I don't know that it's necessarily a check a box kind of a thing. Once again, I've not chosen to opt in to any of these just yet, but um, I just want everyone to know that these are here. And I approve of this. I approve of this approach over simply implementing changes um, that end up upsetting the vast majority of YouTube users. So that's all I've got. Thanks for watching, and tune in again.
You won't like me. You put me on fucking internet. You won't like me.